Good day, good evening, hello, greetings, everyone. It is Elmira, your host, your TV producer, curator of the World Family Experience. Tonight's live is a special one. We are speaking with Cameron Galloway. He is my cousin, and not only that, he is the prime high dollar, high class, top lyricist in the land, in the world. We're going to talk about back to the roots in this behind the scenes chat because we're sitting down with the majority of the artists and performers for the event coming up. You should know that the World Family Experience is all about curing loneliness and giving you a place to belong. There is a loneliness epidemic. Yeah, we may be more connected than ever. You can get on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and there are so many people to pull from, even in the dating space. But why do we feel so alone? We feel so alone because we're not truly connecting. We're not truly developing intimacy. We don't truly feel like family. That's what this conversation is about today, tonight, whenever you may be tuning in, is going back to the roots. What are the roots? What is the culture? What does this even have to do with music? What does this have to do with popular music? What does this have to do with you? And I will tell you, this theme has been coming up a lot today. I just got off the phone with my boyfriend and we were talking about hoodoo. Hoodoo, of course, is a tradition amongst Black people. I put the quotes there in the Americas, and not only in the Americas, this could be anywhere really, but it's where we draw from nature. We do things like root work. We help people heal. And it's one thing I've discovered over the years. It's a reason why I innately knew how to become a massage therapist. When I became a massage therapist in 2008, because I went to school I went to school. It just came so easy to me because it's in my lineage. Stuff like that is in our lineage. Hey, what's up, Cameron? I see you still out and about. You in the street?
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I'm always outside.
I know. You was telling me that earlier. Well, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm absolutely amazing. How you doing?
Good. I just had me some watermelon. I don't know how much you heard, but I was talking about hoodoo. But I was I was telling the people about some hoodoo because I listened to this guy, Papa Sear, and
Hmm.
I don't know if you know him, but I was just basically saying that's one of the things that's in our roots that we neglect because we're like, we've heard, and of course, this is what this conversation is about. We've
Hmm.
heard historically and in school, oh, y'all ain't got no culture. Y'all Black Americans ain't got no culture. What y'all don't know how to do nothing. Okay, so first of all, let's open it up with that. What do you say to the people who might tell you you have no culture?
American culture is my culture.
That.
Um, all right. There's a lot of ways to unpack the onion, right? It's So can you hear me good?
Hmm.
Audio's good. All right, bet. Um, First and foremost, every form of music that exists or that incepted from the United States of America started with our people. Period. I don't care if it's Appalachian bluegrass. I don't care if it's country. I don't care if it's rock and roll, hip hop. I mean, you could even go as far if we go Caribbean with it, reggaeton, reggae, ska, calypso, like all of it, right? But specifically North America, United States, every doo-wop, all of it comes from us. Jazz, blues, all of it. Our food, macaroni and cheese was invented by one of us. Candy yams,
Yep.
sweet potatoes, potatoes in general are indigenous to the Americas. Tomatoes. When I learned the tomato, the staple of Italian cuisine is native to the Americas. The tomato.
Wow.
Yeah, that really blew my mind. So it's when they tell us we don't have culture, I tell them that my culture bred the rest of the culture of the world. Period. I'm at a space and yep, brother Panic. He helped reinforce this concept in my mind so much. Dude, I don't argue with people. I don't
Mhm.
debate. I'll drop some jewels, I'll give some facts. I I'm about to have 4 children.
What you
So
mean? You got another one on the way?
yeah, I got another baby on the way.
Oh, because your youngest is what, 2 or 1?
Yeah, she just turned 2.
Oh my good. Yeah, see you trying to
Yeah.
be like my dad.
Yeah. We fruitful and multiply as the Abraham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have the luxury of time to debate. You know what I'm saying? I if I'm gonna use that time, I'd rather do it with working or just researching in general. Um, but yeah, even sports, all the ball games started here, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
all of the ball games. What we practice as quote unquote American culture is just a remix, homogenized version of Eastern Woodlands American Indian culture. I I don't really feel like we could expound on the thought and give a plethora of examples, but to like shorten it down to one concise statement, yeah, American culture is a homogenized version of Eastern Woodlands American Indian culture.
And you
Um,
know, we see that today because they're about to wrap up the FIBA World Cup. And
mhm.
all these, I follow a lot of people from different countries, different nations. And they always come in these, these melanated folks from different nations, the UK, Scotland, wherever. When they come here or when they see what we do, they're so fascinated. Oh my gosh, y'all got bands. North Carolina A&T FAMU. I'm like, we do that. Y'all ain't
Yeah,
got no bands. Well, they ain't got no good food neither. We got the good food over here. They ain't got no good food.
yeah. Oh, speaking of, because I like food from all over the world. Is fufu from West Africa, right?
Yeah, yeah,
All right, so the dough, the actual fufu ball, is made from
right.
cassava or yuca, and that's another plant again, yuca coming from Yucatan Peninsula in Central America. Like
I didn't realize that.
out of I think it's like 700 food crops, about 80% of them are indigenous to the Americas, North, South, and Central, and the adjoining islands. It's like literally we when they came over here, and this is my summation of the journals that I've read. When they got over here, they witnessed paradise
Hmm.
and different types of people exploring and expressing different types of culture. Like if we really want to get down to it, I got 12 fingers. If you see these little nubs on my pinkies, right?
Yeah. And
And
one of your daughters, I heard you mention this, one of your daughters does too, or do something, multiple stuff.
Sophie does. My
Yeah.
2 year old, he has 12 fingers. My 8 year old, she has 11. And the interesting part about that mutation or genetic anomaly or however you want to say it, it's a trait that's only indigenous to the Americas. The only people that have it are Native Americans and African Americans,
Mm-hmm.
which shows that there's a cross relation and we're cousins. I'm not going to speak on everybody else's ancestry. I'll just say that a lot of people you see on these reservations are descendants of straight European people, and they have no genetic or historical ties to the Americas dating past like 1499.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's Yeah, they really don't, and a lot of them get what's the word I'm looking for? Incentivized by the federal government to keep their secret. It's a very deep thing. It's a very, very deep thing. Um, I used to be upset. Like, grandma, for the people that don't know in the internet world, we're cousins.
And we real cousins, first cousins. We call that, as one of my other cousins says, it's called brother sis churn.
Yeah,
So my dad and his mom are brother and sister. So
facts, facts. So we got the same grandparents, and not no half siblings. We got both the same grandparents on one
right.
side.
Yeah.
So they I used to be with grandma a lot, and she stood firm in who she was, like
I
straight
know.
firm. And she used to tell me when I was little, she was like, "Baby, you can't run from it." So I just got to give you what I got. So all of these stories, all of this history, all this information, and then as I get older, I start to do research and like historical records, county logs, things like that, census records, et cetera, and realize that most of the stuff she gave me everything she could, and she was accurate as fuck.
What did she, because I can tell you what my dad told me,
Mm-hmm.
but what did grandma say? Because yeah, you were around her more than I was. I was around her when I was little, like under
Mm-hmm.
5, but when I got older, I wasn't.
Uh, Basically that her grandmother Elizabeth was basically human trafficked and taken to a re-education camp, for lack of a better term. And she ran away when she turned 16 and came back home.
What?
Yeah. Now I could be mistaken, but from the
That
historical records, she lived in a few different places as a child, like on census records. If this is the same person, because there's these are
it's
paper documents.
gotta be because your search kind of led you to what, the same area in North Carolina, like Pollocksville, Goshen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So she yeah, make a long story short, she got human trafficked, and then she made her way back home, and then she got married, and her husband died after they were married for probably like 12 years or so. So when our
Hmm.
great grandfather was a child, his father died. Um, on census records, so to make a very long story short, our family on one side has the oldest cemetery in the entire county. Like the cemetery goes, it's the oldest cemetery in the county.
Yeah.
This is one of the places where the Tuscarora War happened. And there was a period of time where there were no Europeans living there because they got massacred and were scared to come back. And then England sent, I forgot how many soldiers it was. It was probably like 400 or 500 soldiers. Could be wrong, but sent them in to basically transport the Tuscarora and the remaining American Indians that they could find out of the area. So
Mm.
that's why the Tuscarora moved, around Tidewater,
Hmm.
Elizabeth City area, Pasquotank, and all that, and then the rest of them went to New York. And then the ones that stayed became Negro.
Mm.
So that's one fold of it. And then you have more European people coming to this area. Mind you, we still have the oldest cemetery in the county. So our people were there before all of these people. And we're still occupying our ancestral homeland. You feel me? Um, so you have more people come in, time goes on, blah, they die. Indian relocation, because we have no census records for most of our shared ancestors before 1830. There
Mm.
are there are deed and title records, there are cemetery records, there are marriage and death certificate records, but there are no census records. That's because the census was not taking census of quote unquote colored people. No, they were. 1830 they made the Indians colored, but before 1830 they weren't taking census of untaxed Indians, especially those living in the woods and swamps.
Right. Right. And it's to add to what, because of course, like you know, we be doing the same stuff. I found
Mhm.
the same thing as you, like with the cemetery. Like they actually have the gravesite records, and I was able to do that research myself. And there's, I think you know about this too. Don't you know about the interview that Aunt Lice did with the University of North Carolina?
Yep,
That
I was there when she did it.
what? Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah. I remember what was happening. They were trying to so her, your father, shit, the rest of our relatives really. They were trying to they were putting a water treatment facility on land that none of us lived on that's next to our actual land that we quote unquote own, right? Because we don't own the land owns us. But if ownership is a thing. But
Correct.
what our licensing was trying to do was, and God bless his dead, I miss you, Auntie, make into a historical landmark because it's the oldest cemetery in the county. Um, and make the entire Goshen into that because it's a continuous quote unquote black community that was up and running before slavery and all of that. The interesting thing is, and is why it's kind of fucked up. So at that time they were sending our people, us melanated folks, in federal prison for saying we were American Indian.
I heard about that, but now you're giving me actual,
Yeah,
proof.
it's quite a few people that got sent. So the whole thing, well, even before that, before like Jim Crow era, they were the law. North Carolina and Virginia. I say that specifically because all of our family. I'm not sure about on your mom's side, but I'm pretty sure North Carolina and Virginia. If you have ancestry from these two states, your ancestry is usually in both states.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of interchange because these peoples are, these are confederations, these are empires of peoples, and it's two different ones, but they still do things together and trade and whatnot, right? And three, if you count the Yamasee to the south, which southeastern North Carolina is some of that close. So if you were if you were conducting business in the colonies, you needed a Christian name, right? You needed a Christian name, you needed to speak English, you needed to have, you need to be Christian presenting. You need to wear Christian clothes and either don't get tattoos or cover up your tattoos. Men should shave and cut their hair off, and women should wear head coverings and things of that nature, right? And no ornate jewelry. Like basically not practice our culture. Back to the culture question you asked first. We were literally, this is 200 years of systematic squashing of culture and us practicing our culture in secret.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were outwardly telling people that we're from here and practicing our culture in front of these people, then it's a high likelihood we're going to get strung up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so that's why, and I bring this all the way back to now. A lot of people get into politics and they talk about Orange Man bad. Yeah, he's a piece of trash. Trump's a piece of shit. He's a jerk. But he signed the United States Declaration for the Rights of Indigenous People.
Mm.
That's what he did. And that
Right.
allows us to not get sent to federal prison for openly stating who the fuck we are. Excuse
Mm-hmm.
my language.
Now, I mean, you got to be emphatic about it. I mean,
Yeah. Is so shout out to him for that. Really the onus is on us. And it's still enough of us out here. And the fact that we got the internet because it used to be back in the day when you say I got Indian in my family, you a self-hating Negro.
oh yeah, because I always knew that because that, like you said, you sat with Grandma Core, like talking to my dad. That's all he talked about. Like my
Mm-hmm.
dad would tell me about our legacy, our history. You got this, you got this. He would talk about the Trent River. He would talk about, he just, everything all day, every day. That's how I know so much because even though him and my mom split, I said, I got to know, you know how you got that intuitive, that ancestral wisdom? You're like, I need to know this. This is calling me. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't be like, just like you're saying, they thought we were some hating Negroes because we out here saying I'm in. I couldn't be a hating daughter and trying to be like, that ain't my dad or that ain't my mom. And I'm saying this message to everybody listening because that's how we will be. We'll be like, oh, I ain't trying to be no part of that. My dad was a deep deadbeat, or my grandpa was this, or my grandma was this. That's
Mm-hmm.
your inheritance. You bet.
Yes, 100%, 100%, 100%. Is and on top of that, us in this part of the world, we're first contact people. So when those people out west and in the desert, first of all, fuck it, I'm gonna just get to it. Y'all ain't never built nothing.
Mm.
Y'all, where's your culture? What do? You do our dances poorly. They suck when it comes to catching rhythm. The conquistadors and the Tudors and the gentry, when they came over here, they said they encountered the American Indians smoking herbs around a fire, playing ball games, singing, dancing, and drumming. Who does that?
To this day. And we don't even be trying. Like,
It's our nature. It
yeah.
is literally our nature. This is our culture in practice. At, at one time, they thought of it as sun worship. As another time, we looking at Jay-Z at Yankee Stadium. It's the same thing. The culture never dies. Like you go to church, they catching the Holy Ghost. I went to powwow, seen women doing the ghost dance, and realized it's the same dance. It's the same syncopation with the drum. It's the same thing we've been practicing our culture this entire time. And I love it, and I appreciate and I respect my ancestors for keeping our culture alive.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now is the perfect time for us to realize, and I'm seeing it, and I'm happy that everybody's having the same realization. Like, whoa, we've been doing this the entire time. We are who they said we are. We all have the same story from our families. Who else got more heirs land than us? Nobody. How you get heirs land? It
Mm.
gets passed on. Who couldn't buy and sell land? Niggas. I mean Indians. Who's the first people called niggas? Indians. It's like it's such a in your face behind your back thing, you know what I'm saying? And it used to make me really angry until I started realizing that we've been invaded and been at war for 500 years against 7 different nations.
Yes.
We're
And
still
tell
here.
tell them, pause for the people and tell them who they are. Like, I'll get the ball rolling. We know it's the Vatican. We know it's France. Like, tell the people.
All right, so Italy, France, Spain, Portugal, the Netherlands, and England. Or you could say Great Britain, but I'll say England specifically because most of the Welsh, Irish, and Scots. First of all, most of the Europeans that came over here before around 1750, 1760 were black people,
Mm-hmm.
like 80 to 90% of them. After that, they start trickling in pale face people, but it's they start trickling in more pale face people because there were pale face people that came over here initially. But they were shipping their their Sephardic and Moorish converso refugees, and they were also sending soldiers who were usually conversos as cannon fodder. So all of the indentured servants were dissidents and prisoners, especially England. They had this thing when they were at war with Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, where they would take their people and make them into prisoners and ship them over here as slaves because they were trying to ethnically cleanse England and trying to get all
Okay.
of the
Who is
quote
that
unquote.
on here? I don't know who that username. Do you recognize that username? Nikki
Yeah, what's up?
O'Dell.
Yeah, that's my sister.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah. So a lot of those people that came over and the European folks, a lot of those people were black, and that was probably the hardest thing for me to wrap my mind around from all of the just from everything I've been told until I really started looking at the research and the primary accounts and and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a lot of black folks. It's like indigenous European black people, the original Celts, the Picts, the people of Castile and Aragon, Christopher Columbus, whose name was like Ferdinand Salvador Sarko or something like that. He was a quote unquote black man, quote unquote, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that means. Um, yeah, like the rabbit hole is way deeper. I feel fortunate that we have access to the information now because a lot of the lies are being uncovered and a lot of truths being uncovered. And I just implore everybody, please do your own research on your own individual ancestry and genealogy because everybody's is different. And I am in no position to tell you who you are, except for my children and the people I'm directly related to. And I'm going hard about the 12 finger thing because this trait, both parents need to possess it for it to manifest, period.
Mm.
Whether whether it manifests in one parent or not, both parents have to possess it for it to manifest. So, and again, this trait is a specific trait to indigenous American peoples. Like some of my Mexican, pardon me, some of my Mexican homies I used to work with, it's on my hands when I took my gloves off, and they were like, "Bro, you Mexican?" I'm like, "Nah." And I look, it was like, "You got 12?" I'm like, "Yeah." It was like back home, that's Mayans. Mayans have 12 fingers. I'm like, "Word,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense." And I started laughing like, well, here American Indians got 12 fingers, and we both laughed and was like, yeah, same shit, right? But it's like everybody, I ain't gonna say everybody knows, but a lot of people know except for us. In the Caribbean, tons of people got 12 fingers, especially in Jamaica. Antigua, Jamaica, a lot of uh, I noticed a lot of the British colonies, because, if they got mainland United States and they got Canada or half of Canada, and half of mainland United States, they're shipping people between these places continuously because it's way cheaper to ship people, you know, 400 miles versus 3,000 miles across open ocean. And
Correct.
again, this is in their journals and logs. These are business people. They kept records. And we got access to them through national archives and different sources. So, and again, everybody's ancestry is different. Some people's ancestors did come off a boat from Africa. Some of their ancestors, they came off a boat from Africa to make an even smaller sample. Their ancestors came off a boat from America.
Ain't that
Or,
something?
or if we want to take it even farther, because a lot of translators, like if we really get into this, because I'm a nerd about this, a lot of the translators initially were these indigenous European children, whether it's Celts or Picts on the British side, or it's Sephardic Jews and Moors and Moriscos on the Spanish and Dutch side. And they're speaking these quote unquote old world languages and writing down in their logs and notes. And they're saying that these people are speaking our language or a variant of our language, or they come from the same language, but they could already communicate with each other. So if Atlantis is real, if it happened, the Mayans call it the Atlant. Plato called it Atlantis, and tis is a Greek suffix. The ancient Egyptians said their gods came from Atlantis and came over there and built shit after the catastrophe. If we're gonna get into, and people call it pseudo or woo woo, but if we're gonna get into quote unquote mythology, we can, what I'm saying, we can talk about that. But it's a very interesting coincidence that people speaking Arabic, Hebrew, Celtic, Welsh, and Pictish can communicate with people speaking Algonquin and fucking Mohawk and Yamasee and Salagi and all these different languages, and there's no problem. That's a very interesting coincidence. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
'cause so what that shows you, they're the same people. Like, I mean,
In a lot of
yeah.
cases. In a lot of cases. And again, it's not one thing I would like to paint a swath over. I stand on this so hard because like my grandma told me, I can't run from it. I've been getting joked about being called a little Indian boy my whole life. So it is what it is. Sometimes we gotta lean into it already. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's so weird is that your government name actually has Indian. It is Indian. IAN.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. My friend,
literally Indian.
yeah,
It has the components. I
yeah,
just thought about
and it's just super Scottish. Ian Cameron Galloway. It's
that.
super Scottish. And the interesting thing about that, I'm still doing research on my father's side of my family. For
Yeah.
it seems like that Galloway name might have just been a DBA, or it could have been a slave name. I don't know. I'm kind of at a roadblock. I think the oldest census records I found is like 1840, and I couldn't find any. I haven't found anything before that yet on that line. I know the
You know,
other.
it's very possible because I have a friend up in Jersey. Her last name is Smash. And she explained to me how they got their Smash name. It was either her grandfather, great grandfather, after that period of time in the 1800s says, we're not accepting this name. We're going to smash the past. So they adopted the Smash
Oh
as
man,
the last name.
mm. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens. I know quite a few stories of people with similar stories about their last names, whether they came in as immigrants like Ellis Island or any of those other ports, or if they were colonized indigenous peoples or emancipated slaves, and even the slavery thing. A lot of these people, my opinion, I say a lot of, not gonna say all because I hate blanket statements, but a lot of peoples I've been looking at and researching, a lot of these people were enslaved or indentured on their own homeland. Like they
Hmm.
never, they, yeah, they had the military come in, seize land, gunpoint, either you're gonna work or you're gonna die, and or unalive since we're on Instagram. And yeah, in a lot of
So what
cases,
that says, okay, what that says, Cameron, is that it was their land, but they were forced to do something legally on paper or war times.
more or less. And again, every situation is different because you
Yeah.
know the devil's always in the details, and nuance is insane. But in a lot of these cases, especially Massachusetts, Virginia, Carolina,
Hmm.
some of that in Maryland, but Massachusetts, Virginia, and Carolina. Um, Massachusetts shipped out a lot of people because there were a lot of wars up there. Carolina shipped out a lot of people, especially South Carolina, because there were a lot of wars down there. Um, North Carolina received, not really. North Carolina got a lot of people migrating through or
Mm-hmm.
hiding. So when it comes to like free black communities, because again, these people weren't, they were non-taxed, not on the census until earliest time, like 1830, Indian removal, which is ironic as hell. You got the option, go to Oklahoma or Arkansas or whatever other state out west, or become a Negro. And that's what grandma told me. She was like, her her grandmother, when that was happening, she was, you know, freshly married, and around that time she basically said that yeah, she said that she told her that her and her husband decided to stay home. So when you look at the records, one of her racial classification goes from colored to mulatto to Negro to colored.
Mm.
Her husband's does the same thing. Yeah, James White. And on my father's side, on the Harrison side, ironically, another was that Scottish name? Same thing. Colored, Negro, mulatto, in Virginia, anybody, basically a mulatto was an Indian.
Yeah.
And Virginia also said that there were no Indians in Virginia. Yeah, Virginia definitely said that shit.
Now you know that's a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you something, since this is going to be on record and it's recorded. This goes to show you how the ancestors work. You know, I grew up where we grew up in New Kent is
Mm-hmm.
literally next to a major reservation in Charles City County, Virginia. So, but
Mm-hmm.
those are like sister counties. But Charles City, growing up, was known as the, oh yeah, that's where them Indians live. But let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you, I had a classmate, and me and her really took a liking to her. She was good friends with me, but more best friends with one of my other cousins on my mom's side. But
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you how the ancestors be working here lately and over the past couple of years. I keep dreaming of her, and I know why, because she has a message, a key to unlock what you just said. How they're telling us there's no Indians in Virginia. Like her last name is Bradby. That's a common name of the melanated, black, colored, whatever you want to call it. And I know me and her have some type of connection because this is what I even remember her writing in my senior book. She wrote, "You're going to be a star, Elmira." This is like, I didn't even think about that stuff, but you know, we talented. So I'm just like, this just whatever. I just be creative. Ain't nobody trying to be no star. Not even though I wanted to pursue that, but she wrote there. She was like, "When you become a star, I want your autograph." Da, da, da. So she's always had a special place in my heart. And so now recently, she just keeps coming up, and I keep saying I'm supposed to reach out to her. The ancestors telling me I'm supposed to ask her some questions about something. I don't know what it is, but it deals with this because that's where her people are from, that county.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep dreaming of her. Like literally, she keeps showing up in my dream. I ain't never seen her because she didn't even come to our class reunion, but
Mm.
keeps showing up. Brandy.
Yeah, yo, hit her up. She probably got a
I
key to unlock one of those. You know what I'm saying?
She got a key. It's something. She got a, yeah, she got some key. I know it is.
It's like the rabbit hole is so deep. I just encourage everybody, find out about your ancestry, find out about your family's history, find out about the overall history of the land too. Like the things that they told us that happened during colonization. A lot of it's accurate, but they speak of it like it happened everywhere.
Hmm.
And a lot of it is in well, meaning that a lot of that is inaccurate to certain people's history. So Roots got me as a kid, right? I saw Roots when I was little. Was there. We watched Roots together when we was little. And seeing LeVar Burton get beat with that whip just was like traumatizing to a child. And the whole, you know, he came from Africa and this and that. And again, nothing against anybody's personal history because that happened also. However, Alex Haley is a motherfucking plagiarizer.
Correct.
Yeah. So, and the only people that were real people in any of his books is his Cherokee grandma queen.
Ain't that some mess?
Yeah. Yeah. Naval intelligence officer. Hmm.
How about
Hmm.
that?
Yeah. You know, misinformation and disinformation. It's a lot of, you know how it goes. We're at war. We're still at war. When it comes to the World Family Experience, I got this record called The Warriors. And
Oh,
yeah, I took a quote from Rod Hayes for the chorus. And it's race is that's what the song is about. Is our people have been part and parcel to the longest war in recorded human history. 500 years, invaded by 7 nations, an entire side of the world. And it's so great because all of this has happened, the chemical warfare, the germ warfare, out and out warfare, spiritual war.
Psychological, the whole nine, yeah.
Yeah, the education system, indoctrination, all of it, and we're still here having this conversation right now. That's the most beautiful part about it. We're still here having this conversation right now about these subjects, and so many people are opening their eyes to whatever the truth is as well as their truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Let me
again,
let me interject just real quick because I got to tell you something about that because that song I know is gonna hit people like when you do that at the event next month at the World Family Experience. We are still here. Let me tell you something else that's been showing up for me because these are the signs and the symbols, and this is our culture to pay attention to the signs and the symbols and the animals and the weather and the stuff. Let me tell you what's distinctly been showing up for me last year is cockroaches.
mm,
And let me tell you, because you said we're still here. We are the cockroaches. But let me tell you specifically what's been happening. At first, I was kind of scared because I'm like, what's going on? I wasn't scared. I was just aware. No, to be technical about it, this started happening during COVID time, where the ancestral spirits show up for me as a cockroach. Like they will just randomly appear in my house. And I'm telling you, here recently, let me tell you how funny they are. I just be laughing at them. I'm like, who is you? You look at you coming. One showed up one time, Cameron. This was just the other month. I was using my toilet. I lift up the toilet. Here go one just scurrying like it's playing. They like playing games with me. And that's how I know this is our culture. They're coming, like these signs and symbols are here to show us this is your time. Do not be afraid. Y'all are the cockroaches. Why are you trying to? We never died, so you never died. Your culture is still alive. That's every time I see that, and I know somebody else. I'm having this conversation, and the people listen. Y'all get it, but I don't even tell that story to a lot of people because they'll be like, "Get the pest control, Elmira. You got." But I'm telling you, another time. Let me tell you another time it showed up. You know when the Knicks just won
mm,
the NBA. So I had my phone. I was texting a cousin in New York, texting her congrats because she lived in New York. I was like, your team won. My phone disappeared into a portal. Like, no lie.
oh shit.
Guess what? Guess what? 6 a.m. the next morning. So my boyfriend Terrence is sleeping on the couch. So I go downstairs because I'm like, get up. It's almost time to go to work. Do you know what happened right at that time? My phone fell out of the couch. I'm telling you, we had looked under the couch, over the couch. It was like a portal, Cameron. Like there was stuff under the seat, like jewelry that I had lost. I'm like, what? But here's the other thing. Right at that moment, there was a little cockroach on the couch. Cockroaches don't be on the couch. It was chilling on the couch when I found my phone. Like
Ah,
this is how I know we got to pay attention to this stuff because that's our power. We talk about where's our money coming from, where's our land. It's in the signs and symbols if we would just pay attention and not be so hooked on what like westernized ways has taught us about because our culture, I open up talking about some hoodoo stuff. That's
mm,
like that's like that. So these roaches be showing up. I'm like, y'all got another sign for me. Y'all got another message. Yeah, but my
yeah,
phone was recorded. Literally, it was.
yo. That every time my phones disappear, and I got 2 of them, yo, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Every time they disappear, I always take it like divine source, ancestors, angels, however we want to qualify, spirits saying, yo, be present in the world,
Mm.
be present, or go meditate.
Yep.
Because sometimes I just there was one time I don't know what happened to my phone. I was just, living life, hanging around the crib, whatever. I went to the store, came back. I thought I had my phone in my pocket. I did not. I swear I put it in my pocket. Went, looked back in the car, looked under all the seats. I'm in the car right now. It's captain's chairs, buckets. I'm looking under everything, right? Rear view mirror, everything. It's not in here. Armrest, it's not in here. So I'm like, all right, cool. I go in the house, I play with the kids, we eat dinner. I'm about to go DoorDash. I ain't got no phone, but I'm like, I'm about to, and like, I ain't got no phone. It's gonna show up. I go in the room, I make a beat, then I make another beat, then I sit on my NPC all night. Then I go out to the car. I think I want to get a lighter or something. And I swear to God, phone is sitting. I don't feel like moving this phone, but it's literally sitting on the right behind the gear shift in the center console, right here, where my other phone is sitting, right here, like right there, just sitting there. Both of
Wow.
them stacked on top of each other. And I'm like, word, thank you. Like I've been calling the name of God in Arabic lately in a lot of cases because I know that's an older language and the sonics and the phonetics and the frequencies
Mm-hmm.
hit different because English is, we speak it backwards and we read it
Yeah.
backwards. So, yeah. But English is great as an MC, though. Just not to like segue too far. But as an MC, I love English because you can make it infinitely smaller and infinitely larger. You
Mm.
can really play with the words, the sounds, the syllables, the suffixes, prefixes, roots. You can really play with them a lot. And a lot of sounds rhyme. So that's why, if you notice, hip hop sounds the best in English, not because we speak it, but because of the mechanics of the language. It's a spellcraft language. So you can really play with it.
So, okay, I think we're going to end here, but let's talk about this because this is a good lead in to what you do as an
Mm-hmm,
artist, as a lyricist. So let's talk about that language.
mm-hmm,
English, and I'm coming at this from another angle as well because I teach massage students, and one of the crux or why they can't understand, they can't pass this test is because some of them speak Portuguese or they speak Spanish or they speak. So when it
mm-hmm,
comes to trying to understand English, they're like, I can't get it. I can't pass the test. So
mm-hmm.
what you're saying makes so much more sense because this English is intended for spelling.
Yeah, it's magical as hell. It's
Mm-hmm.
all, first of all language is magical. Um, I would say, all right, so Portuguese, Spanish, and Italian are all combinations of Arabic and Latin to whatever degree, and another indigenous European language, whether it's Castilian or Aragonian or what's the people in France, the Basque,
Mm.
um, or the Etruscan. Is very, but it's mainly Portuguese. I mean, not Portuguese, mainly Arabic and Latin. So when I started, I learned Spanish in high school, and it's a lot of Spanish speaking people all over this East Coast, especially Southeast. A lot of Mexican folks. You get to Florida. My father and my sisters live in Florida, and it's a lot of Caribbean, Spanish speaking Caribbean, South and Central American, and well, it's not a lot of Mexican people in Florida, but so it's different dialects of Spanish. When I was in college, I had a roommate from Saudi Arabia,
Mm.
and he had a bunch of friends, both from Saudi, Yemen, Qatar, Libya, Tunisia, but a lot of Arabic speaking countries, right? So I hear him speaking Arabic. I know a little bit of Arabic, very minute amounts of Arabic from hanging out with Rashid so much. God bless the dead. My guy. And, they, he grew up Muslim. So he learned Arabic in Masjid, right? And so he would teach me a few things, and like I learned how to pray and all type of stuff. So as I'm hearing the homie speak Arabic, and I know a decent amount of Spanish, especially when it comes to comprehension and understanding. And then I'm a rapper at this point, so I've been playing with language and learning more
Mhm.
about language and etymology and all that. I'm like, and I know the history now about the Moors in Southern Europe. So I'm like, oh, this sounds like Spanish. No, Spanish sounds like this.
Mm.
Yeah, but a lot of their vocabulary words are the same, or very close. Like camisa or camiseta in Arabic is kamis,
Mm.
or zapato is zapa in Arabic, and a large deal of like vocabulary words like nouns are have Arabic origins. But yes, Arabic and Latin had a baby. So trans going over into English, this all right, they say English is a combination of German, some sort of Nordic language, and the Britain language of the British people that were, exterminated, really that were sent over here. Our European cousins and ancestors, if we're gonna be honest about it. Because I hate when people leave the black European off the table or the pale European. But a lot of
Mhm.
us have European ancestry, and in most cases, is black Europeans. You might have
Yeah.
got the name from being a slave, but the slave name came from your slave ancestor and not the slave master. The slave master might have adopted the name
Hmm.
when they married into the family. A lot of that type of stuff happened, but it's when you look at 16th or 15th century English, which the word nigger comes from. It's a person who gives something and takes it away. Indian giver, nigger. Um, yeah.
I
But
mean,
when you look at that English versus today's English, and you realize that a lot of our words, like a good 50%, I would say, come from American Indian words, like water specifically. I don't know what the hell they call water in 1600, but they didn't call it water because water is the Algonquin word for boat or canoe, and
hmm.
that's a mistranslation. You point, I point here, say water. You point there, say water. You think I'm talking about the liquid. I think I'm talking about the boat. Either way, it's now water.
Because one is the vessel and one is the liquid. Like
Yeah,
different.
but it's so that's how a lot of these words that we use that don't have European origin came into the English lexicon. So again, we're remixing our culture, just like everything else. Pop music is remixed R&B and hip hop at
We
this
do
point.
the remix. We know how to remix. What
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it is. It's hip hop. It's food. It's oh, let me. I was thinking about that today as I was cooking some oatmeal. I was like, this is what we do. This is our culture. We don't measure nothing. If you would have
mm-hmm.
asked like our grandmother or your mom or anybody, my mom even, how you make them biscuits. You just say put a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little how you make that chicken, a little bit of this. How did you make your kale? It's a little bit of this and a little you don't measure nothing. That's how now there is some stuff that I do measure, but when I'm really in the zone, I don't be
Yeah,
measuring.
yeah. Ancestors tell you when to stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's yo, you know the old story about hush puppies.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, how they say slaves invented hush puppies to get the dogs off of them when they
Yeah. With
escaped.
the throwing them outside. Yeah.
Yeah, which probably happened, but it's bullshit. They probably did use it to get dogs off of them. However, hush puppies are an American Indian staple food.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
fried cornmeal. We invented fried chicken. We invented everything. Not
I
everything,
know.
everything.
Yeah, but I ain't think about the hush puppies. I'm like,
Yeah. They said that you could read shoot. Everybody like to talk about John Smith. Read some of his journals. He talks about the Powhatan people when they would go out. They would take cornmeal, roll it into balls, and fry it in bear grease.
mm,
They will also take cornmeal, rub it on their fowl, usually guinea hen or turkey,
mm.
and fish, and fry it in bear grease.
We still do that joint.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We practice our culture.
I know.
Like,
And you know what else? The bear grease, because I mean, I know this is the culture, but the hot comb.
mm-hmm,
Historically, that's where the hot comb, and this way before somebody might have said, oh, the 1800s or somewhere. No, the hot comb from way thousands of years ago with that bear grease. And I know about the hot comb. Anybody here know about the hot comb? Because that was Saturday night for me. My mom was, we had to get the hot, sitting by the stove, get ready for church on Sunday. You better get that hot comb.
mm-hmm,
That's a,
mm-hmm.
that's a staple. You know what else? And we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to ask you if you have final words. You know what else? Because I'm pointing this out because some people may not have been aware or even think about this as our culture back to the roots. You
Mm-hmm.
know what else is our culture? Is this may seem a little bit silly, but you know that big spoon and the big fork people be having on the wall? That's our culture. We got one
Yep.
here in the house. Terrence had one when I moved in this house. Like we had
I.
growing up, you know, our grandparents had one. That was
Mm-hmm.
my grandparents' house. That's a staple. Even the pictures on the wall is our culture. You know, when you go in anybody's house, they got
Mm-hmm.
an altar. We don't call it that, but that's what it is. It's an altar on the wall where you got your people
Yep.
pictures on the wall. That's
Yeah.
that's our culture. It seems like, oh, everybody be doing, but that's our freaking culture.
Exactly. Like, you gotta realize they highlight voodoo, they highlight Santeria, Palo Mayombe, all of these different spiritual schools of thought and these ways of doing things as oppressed people hiding their mythology and magical systems under the guise of Catholicism. However, us over here, we do the same thing under the guise of missionary Baptists.
Mm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but we don't really, where they're taking spirits or archetypes of spirits and characters, we're placing a lot of that into Jesus, which is also the Algonquin sun god, who's
Mhm.
supposed to represent the hidden sun within self. But we take a lot of that and attribute it to Jesus, or it comes to ancestor veneration or self deification. Our brand of people over here on this solid land over here, we fought wars. We fought a lot of wars. So we invented sports and non-combative wars in order to still fight wars because we fight. Gang banging is American Indian culture. For
Yeah,
real.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I laugh a lot because of the irony, and I just love life and I'm enjoying the ride. However, all of these things that we do as a people that are seemingly inexplicable, when you trace it all the way back, hip hop, dance battle, rap battle, DJ battle evolved as a way to stop gang warfare, right?
Mhm.
These contests, games, ball games, lacrosse, hockey, I'm going to say football and basketball, because all you got to do with basketball is turn the hoop sideways and now you got basketball versus the kickball game in the stadium. It's the same game. It's even 10 people on the court. It's the same game.
It's a net.
Yeah, it's the like we're still, but we developed, our ancestors rather developed these games and contests as a way to compete and be competitive and wage war without having to kill people.
Mm.
Because in a lot of, and this might be just some channel information, because I might actually have not heard this from a person. But after cataclysm and society failure, people realized that we weren't doing things right. Basically, they say, in the mythology of Atlantis, they talk about how the people were corrupted and they did a lot of really messed up things and they were punished for it, which could be true or not. But I do know over here there are myths from all of these different nations about huge wars against some are the giants, the people with the
Yeah.
12 fingers. They buried those people under mounds. They're still finding 15-foot skeletons everywhere with 12 fingers and 12 toes. They don't do DNA tests on them though. Um, right. They won't do a DNA test on Pocahontas, who's buried at Westminster Abbey. How about that? But when it comes to these things, we're an aggressive people. Everybody say, y'all so aggressive. Yeah, we are. We are. We are. And that's why we invented art and sports, to get that off in a constructive way.
Yeah, because it's the creative. You got to use that energy in some way. Otherwise, you just going to be sitting there, what, ready to fight another war.
Yeah, it's hyper destructive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm appreciative, yo. And this is a subject I could run my mouth about all day and all night. I could tell you trying to get off of the stream.
Like, I'm being serious. I'll be telling everybody this because, well, you are writing a book in your music. You do that. You're telling the story because that's what the music is telling this, what we would say in English is his story. It is telling the story, but I see you doing other stuff too, not only the music. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like I like the beat because the beat gives me guardrails. It gives
Mm,
me margins or parameters to stay within. I like doing things like this just as much because it allows the mind to wander and really
right.
just pull things that, like these conversations, information get brought up that I haven't or you haven't thought about in years.
Nope.
It is be like, oh yeah, and this, and we can continue to build on the information. I want to get more into interviewing people and having discourse. I'm not debating nobody.
No debate. There's no, and I learned that, but what put the nail in the coffin for that, for me, like for good with the
Mm-hmm,
debates, was that whole Charlie Kirk back, when was that?
mm-hmm,
September. And the only reason I say that was like I witnessed so much with people, how they were going back and forth. And I'm like, this is some bull. Why y'all
mm-hmm,
arguing about this man? Y'all can argue about something else, but y'all arguing about this
mm-hmm. He's I'll say, first of all, I didn't associate the name with the person until maybe a week before he got shot, right?
man? Mm-hmm.
Um, Watching his videos, and I didn't watch a lot of them. What I will respect and appreciate about him, which is probably what got him killed, whenever he was presented with new information, he took a second, he did his research, and if he was wrong about something, he corrected it.
He did. He was very good at, like, to speak about debates. That's what
Mm-hmm.
a debater, like, I was on now I didn't do the debate portion of the forensics team, but I did the academic challenge. But they teach you in forensics is just what you said. You have to be studied, knowledgeable about the other position and not just, oh, I'm out here just fighting for myself. The Republicans did this. Yeah, the folks did this. He was not like that. He was an intelligent debater. Like, that's what you're supposed to do as the craft.
Mm-hmm.
He was on it with the
Yeah,
craft.
yeah. I feel bad because a lot of these people, once they start to realize how they're being used, they get taken out of here. And I will say, one person I didn't have on my bingo card that I was going to start to really appreciate is Candace Owens.
Really?
I
Okay.
want to. I want a best friend like she got, like Charlie Kirk had with Candace, because she is still riding for him.
She sure is.
For real. She is not gonna stop, and I love to see it because for somebody that had that much love for somebody, just out
You
of
like, I
genuine,
need that kind of friend in my life.
yo, everybody deserved one. For real. And I
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
and I'm not really a fan of hers, but again, when you write, you write.
And you
And
can't deny that.
when it comes to uncovering a lot of information, she be right. As a person who has no dog in that fight, because they ain't got nothing to do with me.
Me
It's a
neither.
Yeah, it's very interesting just watching it. And again, that example of friendship and integrity, I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate those types of things. Really inspire me. I'm inspired by people who stand up against things because they know it's the right thing to do. I'm inspired by that. I really am, and I respect it and I appreciate it, whether or not I agree. Because we're all human beings, we're all nuanced individuals.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to agree with everything I say at all, ever. Nature Boy is in prison for the rest of his life. Should he be in prison? Probably. Was he wrongly convicted? Yes.
Nature, that's another interesting.
he.
We could
Oh,
have a whole live stream on, because let me tell you what I picked up that Nature Boy was doing. But I don't like, I have no, like you say, no dog in the fight, and I don't fault him. Nature Boy was doing some black magic on the people. Because let me tell you what he was doing. He was using this same phone, and he was getting people through the phone, like the Black Mirror, and he
mm-hmm.
was getting them to woo them in. Come to my. We won't be in Honduras. We in Hawaii now. Come, because they was willingly. How else would they willingly come? Like the people. That one
Yeah.
lady gave them like 100K or something. They was giving them land. They was giving them money. I was like, how is he doing this?
He had another dude give him 300. He,
Yes. I was like,
yo, I got so locked in. I watched both of those documentaries. The YouTube one is, oh my God.
that's the
But
better. Yeah, the hood horrors. Yeah.
I my personal perspective, it's us talking, man. His first baby, his second baby mama, Velvet. I feel like she was an agent sent to take the whole thing down.
Oh,
First,
I
I
never
don't know.
considered that.
I don't know these people, but and I don't want to speak ill on anybody. It's just my personal speculation. I could be very wrong. But watching the thing, how it unfolded in the timeline, he got it off the rails. He got it back together. Then she moves in not too far from him in Puerto Rico, and then he goes back to Atlanta, and he wasn't ready to face the demons. And then that's when
Mhm.
it spirals out of control. But he was getting it back together. Like, he wasn't lying. We need to eat better food. We need better quality air. We need more water. We need less food to eat. As far, not less food as a society, but less food as far as the individual. We don't need to eat as much as we
Correct.
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to rest more. We need to really commune with nature and treat nature well, because the earth owns us. When we die, it eats us. And he's right. That man also had a lot of personal demons.
Yeah, because let me touch on that. This conversation is all over the place, but you know
Definitely.
I love it. So let me touch on this. This is my issue with him. Because I'm all about embodiment. And what I mean when I say embodiment is, if you say you're doing something, do it to the fullest. So he calling himself Nature Boy, but he living in a whole ritzy house. I ain't never seen them out in nature for real. Why y'all not in nature? Y'all ain't planting no crops. I'm not saying they didn't plant zero crops, but for the fact he calling himself Nature Boy, he should have had crop to the nine. He should have been able to take his food to the farmer's market and do the this. But no, he on Instagram. Like, and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying he shouldn't be doing this, and merge the technology with the nature, but for you calling yourself, that's why I don't really label myself anything. If people want to call me something and say Elmira is a fill in the blank, that's on y'all to call me whatever. You can call me a Rasta. You can call me, I don't care. But if I call myself anything, I'm going to live out that truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I call myself a conscious eater because I'm conscious of what I eat. That means I don't eat pork. Every now and again I might have a slice of bacon on a sandwich. And I'm just gonna tell you that. Ain't gonna be one of these people sitting up there, oh, I don't eat the swine and you ain't never seen me. But then they got me publicizing the Richmond Times Dispatch and the newspaper Virginia. Elmira eating a veggie burger with a piece of bacon. Oh, she's alive.
The thick cut jank.
Yes, they gonna catch me.
Yo, what's funny is all right, so I haven't eaten pork in I'm 39. I haven't eaten pork in probably 20, at least 22 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um I haven't eaten chicken in 10 since like a couple months before Marley was born. Um Only meat I eat is fish. I haven't eaten beef in probably about 20 years. And but I don't go around proselytizing all of this shit.
I
You know what I'm
know.
saying? I I like no. What's the point? You like it, I love it. I was just over my cousin's crib not too long ago, and he was eating this brisket with a spoon. With a
How
yeah,
you eat brisket with a spoon?
that
What
thing was
the?
slow cooked for so long, and he was eating it with a spoon. He was like, bro, I wish you still ate beef. It's so good. I smelt it. I'm like, bro, first of all, it smells amazing. Second of all, you eating it with a spoon. I know it's good. Like, I'm so spiritual. I understand that life is school. This is a
Correct.
game we playing. We supposed to have fun and enjoy it and enjoy our experiences with the people that we encounter. We're not supposed to have, take that back. I'm not supposed to have, because I'm not French and I don't say we.
Mm,
I'm not supposed to have a miserable experience on earth. And I'm
correct.
not,
And that's how I feel the same way.
you know what I mean? So do as thou wilt. Like, if you like it, I love it, harm no one. That's what I care about.
Mm-hmm.
Harm no one. Let's be out. Earth's supposed to be a paradise if you want it to be. But if a person wants this to be their own personal hell, that's fine. Just stay away from me with it.
Don't come over there with that BS. Because let me tell you
Hell
what
no.
I'm going to eat once we get off of here. I'm going to eat me a piece of that pound cake that I made because that's part of our culture too. I
Yeah,
made a
absolutely.
homemade pound cake. That's our culture. Pound cake, what? Cobbler, sweet potato pie,
Hmm. Casseroles, all that.
cat, all that. Yes, yes.
People like to stun about the pumpkin pie, talk about some white folk shit. No, 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 no. The pumpkin is ours too.
And I love the pumpkin pie. People be getting on Kev on stage because you know that be his little joke every
Yeah.
year. Come around Thanksgiving, he's like, "I'm getting my pumpkin pie," because you know the black folk be like, "What
Hmm.
you eating that pumpkin pie for?"
Both of them good. You just got to season the pumpkin right.
Sure enough.
That's
Sure.
it. Like, and again, we the seasoned people. How about the fact that cinnamon come from the tropical region of America?
Mm.
I mean,
And
I
it's
can
so
go.
sweet. Cinnamon. Do you know I take baths with cinnamon from time to time? And when I put it as an aromatic, it smells like a candy factory in the bathroom.
Hmm. Yo, those spiritual baths are the truth. Again,
Yeah.
they called us cannibals because we took hot baths. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, from cartoons back in the day when they would show the
Yeah,
tribal
that's
people.
right. I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't put that language to it, but now the visual, yes.
they called
Wow.
us They call us cannibal Negroes. Negros del Terra. Cannibalista. Yeah. it's They called us cannibals because we were again soaking in hot water with spices, flowers, herbs, and aromatics. to
Mm-hmm.
clean and heal our bodies. Hoodoo.
But guess who be doing this? Go the hoodoo. Guess who do this now at these spas? And they be, and I know this as a massage therapist, they charge you $500 for that thing. I can do that at
Mm,
home for free. But they be
yep.
going to the, I'm telling you, this is a service. You can
Mm-hmm.
get at the spa. People pay buku, and y'all gonna joke at us because we doing it at home. We've been doing
Yeah,
this.
our culture. They learned it from
Yeah,
us.
I know.
They like, yeah, I having a firm understanding of these things. That's why I feel like being a father really forced me to like kick into gear when it comes to learning the information properly, timelines, context, and everything, but also standing firm in it.
Mm,
Because again, being a child and growing up the way I grew up and being the teasing part ain't shit. You know, we talk shit as a people. We make jokes. But
that's our
just
culture too. They turned that into a whole series. Yo mama jokes. Some people was making money off of that, books, DVDs.
mm,
I mean, that's a whole. Even Jeff Foxworthy, he took it over. He had his own little corner of the. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
absolutely. This is like if 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 I know I had to deal with that, the people that I helped create, or it's a high likelihood they would have to deal with that. And then seeing how the fact that all of my kids so far came out looking like me, more and more like me, successively. So real, yeah. So it's like I gotta give them everything I can to make sure their personal pathology and psychology is secure and powerful in this world.
yeah,
Period. Period. And I feel so empowered to go even harder about it after learning about the fact that both parents need this trait to pass this trait on.
so
So
you
now,
know who you are. Like, I
yeah,
mean,
but not just that, I know who you are because you my cousin.
I know. That's how I know who I am too, right? We know.
Yeah, like I'm going super hard, especially with my cousins and aunts and uncles, because it's like, you know, I got this. I don't get this without you having this in you
Yeah.
right now. So come on, like cut the shit. All respect to African people, but we ain't come from there. Let's stop cosplaying somebody else that we're not. African Americans are a straight misnomer, and it's okay. We had a whole lot of federal agents, agents of the Vatican, and all sorts of subversive characters in our communities making things the way that they shouldn't have been. And it's okay. It's not
Yeah.
okay, but it happened. It's okay to reconcile the fact that that happened.
Hmm.
From this point forward, we gotta move stronger, and we gotta stand on the fact that we from here and we ain't from nowhere else. And the fact that our people decide to stay home, which is a whole different level of resolve.
Yeah.
For real.
'Cause it's the I think that'll be the final word because that's what it is. We're still here.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to make that decision to stay home, we already know this goes back to your song, warrior. We are the warriors because if that blood is in us, going through this
Mm-hmm.
veins, this DNA, we the warriors.
That's
We
it.
that's it.
That's it. That's
That's
it
the
right there.
word.
Yeah.
All
Oh
right.
man.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Again, everybody come to the event, get your ticket. August 29th. This is a once in a lifetime event. You do not want to miss this.
Oh, it's gonna be
It's,
a
yeah, I know. I was doing some of the production work today and getting my production team ready because we're about to have a couple of meetings and stuff. It's I can't wait.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna have to holler at you about some production behind the scenes sort of stuff too.
Yeah, yeah, let me know. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. I
Okay.
appreciate you, cuz.
Okay.
Love you.